Good afternoon, everybody. It's Ned over My Philippine Dreams.
This is Chichai and baby Zoe.
Zoe Catherine, who is drunk right now from Mama's Milk. If you guys have been following our channel for a while, we haven't done a video in quite a while. And as you can see, she has gotten quite larger than she was just 7 weeks ago. She actually got weighed yesterday. She got her second set of vaccinations yesterday. And she weighed in at a hefty, what was it?
5.5 kilos.
5.5 kilos, and she popped out at 2.9. 2.9 kilos. So she is growing horizontally,
Look at
and
the face.
at some point, she might start growing vertically. But before we go on, today's live stream is brought to you by McCormick. McCormick Yellow Curry, which is by far the best curry pre-mixed packet that we have yet discovered. We are big on curry here in the Kelly residence. Since the dreaded malady started and the quarantine kicked in, we've been eating curries every week. And we usually make up a giant container, like I'm saying like a gallon and a half of curry. And we basically eat it over the next 3 or 4 days. Unfortunately, we were using the McCormick green curry, not the yellow curry. And as soon as we switched to yellow curry, this was just like a couple weeks ago, we discovered how amazing it was.
It's like the curry in a restaurant.
Yeah, it's like restaurant quality curry, and we're not using real coconut milk because it goes bad too quickly.
We're using a Nestle cream.
Yes, the Box O Nestle cream. We use 2 of those, and it makes a perfect curry, and it comes out fantastic every time. Even I can do it. So with that said, thank you to our sponsor, McCormick Yellow Curry. Let's make sure this is actually working. Okay, it's working. Yes, okay, so it's working. Thank you, everybody. Angel, Jordan, Daniel, Rockin, Timothy. Greetings to all. Thank you for tuning in. So, Chichai, favorite wife ever. You are by far the best wife I've ever had.
I'm your only wife.
That's true. That's true. But even if I had a multitude of other missuses or mistresses or previous wives, you would still be the best. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Lack of sleep all the time, but it's all worth it.
It's
Every time I see this giant baby,
this
it's all worth it.
giant bundle of joy.
Ooh, you can see the curtain again. Look at the
Yes.
face.
She loves curtains, she loves windows, and that's what she's looking at right now.
Now.
So, yeah, she's healthy. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So far, so good. Yesterday, we went in for our vaccinations. She got her 5-in-1 and another injection. She did really well.
Yeah, she didn't. She only cried for 5 seconds, I think, and
Yep.
then she would yawn and fell asleep.
Yeah, because when she's sleeping, she likes to sleep. So even needles don't keep her awake long.
She was so brave and she was tough. She's a
Astig.
strong baby.
Macho ug astig kahit.
Because some of the kids cannot kick their feet after the shot, but
Yeah, because the shot's in the leg.
yeah, but after that, maybe a few hours, she's starting to kick again.
Yeah, she was good to go. She's airborne paratrooper material.
She had a fever last night, only 38 degrees, but I was giving her medicine and she was babbling a lot.
Yeah, so when kids get these vaccines, what it is, it's dead viruses being injected, and the immune system responds to it, so it creates a fever. So getting a fever after a vaccine is very common. Hers went a little high. I was getting a little nervous there, but Chicha was giving her the baby paracetamol, 30 ml. No, not 30 ml.
0.5.
0.5 ml. But you could see that the fever was affecting her because she was babbling away like there was no tomorrow. I've never seen her babble that much. Matter of fact, I prefer her when she has a fever because she's more interactive and she's communicating to me, even though she's probably hallucinating. But that's okay. So yeah, we got those vaccines done. And actually what happened was we had a problem with our doctor. We belong to Dumaguete A's, but we had a scheduling problem with the doctor. It wasn't actually the doctor. It was the doctor's secretary. We got the car together. We got everything ready. We went over there, and there was no clinic. And when we messaged the secretary, she was supposed to say, "Oh, you were supposed to message us the day before to verify that you were coming because there's no clinic." So they were basically saying it was our fault. Make a long story short, I didn't freak out. I wasn't a dick over this one. She just farted. She just farted.
She's looking at you.
I know, she's looking at me like, what?
Tiger look.
She's giving me the tiger look. So what happened was we got the vaccine done at the Barangay instead. At the Barangay Medical Center, they did a great job. And we saved about how much money?
9,000.
Yeah, we saved 9,000 pesos, which is about $180 by going through the Barangay, because the Barangay is
It's
free.
free, yeah.
Barangay is free. But it was funny, at the doctor's office, they were trying to tell us that their shots,
It's better
It's
than
better.
The barangay.
but it's the same exact vaccine. So, yeah, the bullshit meter was going off on that. Also, local news, we just had a storm come through. It was Typhoon Quinta. Quinta just came through. And it was about 3 days of unrelenting rain. We got off easy here, down here in Dumaguete, because other parts of the Philippines got hammered by this thing. It did like 774 million pesos worth of damage, killed about 18 people. And even the opposite side of this island got hit pretty hard. But it was rainy, it was disgusting, it was gross. The power didn't go out, but we lost some trees in the back. Because what happens here is the rain comes down so hard and so fast that it's
And
super...
the wind.
And the wind. And the wind. And it super saturates the soil, and the trees just fall over. That's just the way it goes. So we lost...
I think it's malunggay tree.
Yeah, we lost the malunggay.
Yeah.
I had to chop it up this morning and bring it out to our brush pile. But I have been lucky so far because I haven't experienced a full-on typhoon that's hit directly where I'm at. But the other night, it got so rainy and so windy that I started to feel a little nervous. And so I can only imagine, because this is something I never experienced in the United States. I'm from the Northeast. We don't have these type of things. We don't have hurricanes and super hurricanes and cyclones and all this stuff. So it was a little crazy. And now we have another one coming in. This one's going to be Typhoon Rolly when it comes in. And there's another one developing after that. And
Yeah, because the bear months is a typhoon month.
yep, the
Yeah.
Burr months. The Burr months are the typhoon months. That's September, October, November, December. It's Christmas in September, and it's also time for typhoons. So that's what's going on. We haven't lost electricity. Cebu, somebody I know in Cebu lost electricity for 3 days. Those 3 days they didn't have electricity. And it wasn't just his barangay, it was actually the whole town. There's another fart. Our little sweet princess is a little gassy today. So that's what's been going on. Let's go to the comments section. I really don't have a topic for this. This is just me babbling. Because we haven't done a video for a long time, like weeks.
Yeah.
So we decided to do this to make sure everything's okay. Angel Wing says, a baby is so adorable. Yes, because she looks like Chi-Chai, and hopefully her disposition will take after Chi-Chai. Hello, Gav. Hello, all. Hello to both of you. Paul Martin, Daniel. Greetings from Korea. Man, we haven't gone out for Korean food in a while. We got to do that at some point.
안녕하세요.
Yeah, that's Korean. She's doing a Korean thing because Korean teleseries are really big here. So they pick
K-drama.
the K-dramas. So they pick up on that. Also in local news here, they have basically shut down the SRRV, those special residency visas. Guys that had those already were pretty pissed off because if they had left the Philippines, they couldn't get back in, even though they were considered permanent residents. And now I guess there's some evaluation they're doing, so they've completely shut down the SRRV process as far as I know. So that's a little crazy, but that's just the way things go here. Also, the government recently announced that they're going to be really attacking corruption within the government. It started with an inquiry that was going into PhilHealth because it was like billions of pesos missing from there. And then President Duterte said, no, let's not just inquire into what's going on into PhilHealth. Let's check out the whole government. And they're encouraging citizens to get involved in this, to report local and regional LGU type corruption. So that is going on. Danny Williams says, so she babbles farts. Takes after dad, huh? Yeah, I'm actually quite proud of her farts. And they always get picked up on the microphone.
It's not like a baby's farts. It's like a big.
It's like an adult fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, babies are small, but there's some parts of their anatomy that are quite capable of excelling. And Zoe's little butt is one of those things. It's amazing. Also, for entertainment, we watched Borat 2 the other night. If you haven't seen Borat 2, I highly recommend it. I thought the first one was a lot better, but in the first one, nobody knew who he was, so he didn't have to do all the disguises, and he was really able to like infiltrate. The second one, I don't think is as cutting and incisive as the first one was, but I really like the actress who played his daughter. She was really good because she starts off, you have to see the movie. And by the time the movie is over and the way they ended it, the best part is the end because they borrowed from some other famous movies in order to do the end of the movie, and they just did a really fantastic job on it. That's Sacha Baron Cohen. I've watched him since Ali G. He's amazing. He's just super talented. Thomas Cowley says, I've been locked out of the Philippines since March. Now my time is up in Korea. Heading to Panama next week. Yeah, I mean, for people that are trying to get back, I mean, when this first started, when the quarantine first kicked in back in March and things locked down, people thought, okay, maybe it's going to be a couple months. A couple months after that, it was like a couple months more.
Another one.
Another fart. It's my girl. And so there's people that have been literally waiting like 8 months, 9 months to come back to the Philippines. The only way you can come back to the Philippines right now is if you are married or have a child in the Philippines, something along those lines. And as far as I know, and if you're American, even if you're married or you got a kid here, you still have to secure a visa before you get on the flight and start the whole process, going through testings at multiple locations, doing all that stuff. Sound Online 79 says, whole government, you mean one whole side, LOL. Yeah, I don't know what's going to be happening with that. I thought it was interesting that the president said, let's not just investigate PhilHealth, let's investigate everything. So, as you know, people who if you've lived here a long time, or if you're very familiar with the Philippines, there's a little problem with corruption here. As a matter of fact, the Philippines, came in the news yesterday, a whole bunch more of Chinese nationals have been recently rounded up, kicked out of the Philippines and blacklisted. I think it was like 2,700 of them. Because I guess back in 2017 or something, they started up this visa program with the Chinese trying to encourage tourism. But it looks like there might have been some corruption involved in that and some bribery. These are the reports that are coming out online. I saw this on Inquirer.net. And it seems like there was like 883 million US in bribes that might have passed hands somewhere. I'm not sure. Previously, the Chinese had been rounded up because there was a lot of them working in online casinos up and around the Makati area, and they were all deported as well. The good news, if you're in that area, you'll know that condo rates and apartment rates have dropped through the floor because they've lost thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Chinese tourists, workers, whatever you want to call them. The Hapsters, look at that cutie pie. Thank you. I did.
Hey, Rick Alport.
I just dressed
watching.
up. Hey, Rick. It's Rick Alport. How are you?
Wonderful family. Yay.
Steve Cadman says, dude, we have to get a beer when this COVID shit is over. I hear ya. I hear ya. Yeah, so again, if you have a girlfriend or you're just trying to come back to the Philippines and you're not here, this is extremely difficult, and I feel for you. And matter of fact, I know a few people in that situation that got out like in February or something, and they had planned to come back. I was planning on doing the same thing. The Hapsters, do you remember me, Ned? Oh my God, was that the baby oil in the shower curtain? No, I don't remember you. It's Kathy's blog. Congrats, you have a family now. Yes. Again, If you go back to 2014, when I first washed upon the shores of the Philippines, there was 10 things that I wanted to do, and one of them was to find a wonderful person and start a family. And it took a little while. It took a little while, but I was finally able to do that. And so far, again, Chichai sometimes gets caught up in what she looks like, and I don't care what she looks like as long as she's healthy. But I am thankful that she's looking more like you than me. There's some more farts coming through. So yeah, I got a family in the Philippines, and I am married. First time married. First time having a family of my own.
First and last.
First and last, because I'm 53, and she's probably gonna outlive me.
No.
I'm pretty sure you will. I hope you do. God, I want. Mark King says, "Hi, I wanted to move to the Philippines this year, then the virus hit. But I've been looking at Peru. Why I've been looking at Peru is there you can own land, which you cannot do in the Philippines." That's a good point. In Peru, you can own land. And they have llamas. And llamas are cool. I don't care what anybody says, even though they spit on you and they're a little aggressive. Llamas are cool. Mark King, what do you think about Peru? I don't know anything about Peru. I don't even think llamas are from Peru. So I'm just pulling shit out of my ass. Just travel around. I mean, if you got the wherewithal and you got the means, travel around. Get out of another reason that I moved to the Philippines was to get out of my comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Explore new areas. I just talked to somebody yesterday who lived here for a very long time. They went to Belize for a while. He went there for about 9 months, and now he's back because he was previously married. He had a 13A visa. Anyways, she's out. Zoe's out. And he didn't like Belize, but he says it was a really cool experience. So, Ghosted In says, good morning from Scotland. Good morning from Scotland. What did we just watch from Scotland? There was something. I forgot what it was. Also in local news, this just happened yesterday, and I believe it happened up on Luzon. A local police chief, that's the Philippine National Police, the PNP, was killed by a rooster during a raid on a cockfighting club. I guess it was an underground cockfighting club. And the police chief of this town was killed by the rooster because they have those razors on their spurs that they put on their spurs. Yeah. And I guess the thing jumped at him and cut his femoral artery, and he bled to death. Rick Alport says, I miss the Philippines. And the Philippines misses you, Rick. But be assured, things will eventually come back to normal, or at least what passes for normal in the Philippines. Also been watching Cobra Kai. I wasn't a big fan of the Karate Kid, and this is way before your time. Mm-hmm. You were just a gleam in your pappy's eye. The Karate Kid, if you've seen it and you have Netflix, check out Cobra Kai. The first episodes, I was like, but it gets really good. It gets really good. And again, with all the quality content, and again, with quarantine and this pandemic or whatever we want to call it, it's good to have things to do to entertain yourself. And we're also finishing up the final season of Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm. Is it the final already?
Yeah, season 6 is the last season of Schitt's Creek.
Aww.
Here's to Schitt's Creek. They swept the Emmys or the Grammys or some shit. Golden Globes. I don't know what they did. Yeah, he was killed by a chicken. That's crazy. Vets for Vets in Philippines says, hi, brother, from Pilar, Bataan, Philippines. I'm a retired USA veteran. I have a YouTube channel and would love to interview you sometime. I don't really have a whole lot of time right now with the baby. Kind of busy. Have your people call my people. Maybe we could set something up. Thomas Cowley says, Panama uses the USD for currency. Number one place for expats in South America. Some other good places like Belize. I'll pass on Mexico. I actually know a couple of guys that lived in Panama for a couple of years, and they moved here, and they just couldn't deal with some of the stuff that was going on down in Panama. And then they left here because they couldn't deal with some of the stuff that was going on here. Danny Williams says, the dreaded malady has kept me here. Instead of 6 months, it's been 14 months at the moment. Retiring in 18 months, so might as well stay now. Kathy's blog. Oh, they're watching that also, but to finish it already, we're watching for next episode if there is one coming. The Hapsters ask, what are the travel restrictions now in the Philippines? Are foreigners allowed to visit now? If you're not married or you don't have a kid here in the Philippines, it's still the way it's been. You cannot get in. You cannot come in on a tourist visa right now. You have to have you don't have to have a 13A visa, but you have to have a marriage certificate and all that other stuff, and you have to arrange the travel visa with the Philippine Embassy in the United States before you come here. That's the last I heard. I could be wrong. Things are changing here. It's in flux. It's rapidly changing. Vets for Vets in Philippines says, okay, we both have new babies. All right. Yeah. I'll tell you, man. And if you have kids, you know this to be true. I'm just learning this all for the first time. Newborns aren't that interactive. They're basically just...
I think in the first 2 months,
yeah,
they're not interactive, but from time to time, they will learn how to interact.
they're basically running on instinct right now. Like if I hold her like to my shoulder, she tries to breastfeed off my shoulder. When I sing her a song, sometimes she'll, a little bit, she'll get
Yeah.
into it a little bit. But she loves Chi-Chai. She's only got eyes for her mom.
And the curtain.
And the curtains and the windows. But those times when they are interacting and you have eye contact and they're smiling or giggling or just making, because she's discovered, like,
The vocal cords.
yeah, she discovered she had vocal cords this past week. So she's been practicing her vocalizations and stuff. And it's freaking adorable. Absolutely, absolutely adorable. Vel's Basket Case says no more SRRV. Yeah, they shut that down. They're doing some evaluation on it or something. I don't know what they're doing, but even for guys that had it already that were outside the Philippines and couldn't get back in, so it really wasn't worth it for them. And there's still a lot of people upset about that. Rick Alport correctly notes that Zoe is a selfie princess.
Yeah, she loves to stare at the camera, and she loves to watch her videos, her own videos.
Yeah, I think that's from her side because I really don't like seeing myself on video, especially at 53. Yeah. She also does TikTok,
Yeah.
and Chichai's been doing some TikTok.
Because I don't have anything to do if Zoe is sleeping, and if I'm bored
So you do
and
some
I
TikTok.
cannot go out.
Yeah, she's been trapped in the house. We're gonna try to go out again this Sunday.
Yeah.
Hopefully there won't be, although the next storm's supposed to be here for that. We were gonna go up to Reef's Farm up in
Tanhai?
Tanhai, which is a sunflower farm and a holistic, organic farm where they grow all kinds of stuff.
Sunflower.
And they
Only
have sunflower.
sunflower.
No, they have all kinds of other stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, they got turnips. I was like, how are they growing turnips in the Philippines?
Rick Alport, how is Eep? How is Eep, hon?
That deaf cat is a pain in the ass. She's gotten really fat. She likes to knock everything over. I wake up, she sleeps until 7, 8 now. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and she just knocked everything over. But she's sweet. She's
Yeah.
okay.
She will sleep the whole day and gonna have party all night. Eep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Eep sleeps all day with them, with sister, Chichai, and
Zoe.
in the bedroom. And then it's just partying hard, all night. If Eep could go down to Why Not and shake her kitty booty until the morning hours, she'd be down there, sucking down the tanduay. No, she's more of a sambuca. Eep's more of a sambuca girl. Golden Rich, what's going on, Golden Rich? How are you? Golden Rich says, baby looks like Ned. I'm going to block you, Golden Rich. Goodbye. Click.
Kidding.
Yeah. You going to fart again? Come on. They want to hear it. Danny Williams asks, how long does it take to renew your visa in Dumaguete in Metro Manila office? It took from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that is with them setting appointments and still charging for express lane. Wow, that's really long. Dumaguete BI is great, and I'm not just saying that because, you know, they hold the power of life and death over me here in Dumaguete City. I've never had issues with them. They're very efficient. You go in there, you get it done. The guard at the he's basically the orchestrator. He gets everything done. It only takes like an hour. I just renewed for 6 months because we are still waiting on our marriage certificate to be corrected. But that's another topic for an entirely other video. Is she drunk?
Always.
God, she's drunk. Art and Donna, Amazing Journey, Philippines. I just got here in October 5th. What a process to get here. Yeah, I can only imagine because, again, things are changing day to day. And people, and I was doing this myself when this thing first started kicking in. I didn't realize how serious it was. I was booking flights, having to cancel, booking flights, having to cancel. Luckily, I was able to get my money back on all those transactions. But with things changing so quickly, it's a very fluid situation, as it were. It's risky. It's risky. Thankfully, people are sharing their experiences. There's a couple good Facebook pages you might want to join. Check out Americans in the Philippines. It's a Facebook page. People have been sharing their experiences coming back into the country. Right now, over the past week, it hasn't been too bad. I think it's raining again. Mark King says, I do not watch too much TV shows. There is not that much that is worth watching anymore. I mostly watch anime like Sword Art Online, Bleach, High School of the Dead, and lots of YouTube. LOL. I like anime myself. Star Blazers, Guy King, Grandizer. That's probably way before your time, son. Way before your time. This is like 1976. They first started coming out, those first Japanese anime. Space Battleship Yamato. Vella's basket case in Cebu. It took me 15 minutes to get my visa. Cool. Golden Rich says, please do not block me. I would never block you, Golden Rich. I think you blocked us. No, you unsubscribed from us. Remember?
Yeah, he unsubscribed last time.
Because you got a little sensitive. I think I might have said something, or Chicha might have said something. And you sent that weird video, which was not of you. All right, we did a Google image search on that. And don't send us creepy videos. That's why I don't give out my Facebook. Art and Donna, Amazing Journey, Philippines. Again, yes, we are on that group too. We're trying to help others get here. Oh, yeah, that's a good group. That is that American in the Philippines. And they're also big on trying to keep the politics out of shit, which, you know, with Americans, it's like trying to herd cats. Trying to control and moderate political discussions. And yes, Thomas Cowley, I am aware of the troll, and I am just ignoring him. At some point, I will probably address the situation, because that is a situation that needs to be addressed. But there is a time and a place for everything. Oh, you were talking about something different. Oh, sorry. Golden Rich, Ned play PS4 with baby. I don't think she's quite ready. What do you want to play? You want to play God of War? God of War? No? You're not ready? Her little hands, they can't quite, I mean, she could, move the sticks. But she'd have to, oh. Are we boring you? Are we not entertaining? We brought you into this world.
Look at the look. Just giving you the look. I'm
getting the tiger look. I don't know if you can see it. Getting the tiger look. Steve Cadman says, yeah, had 3 canceled flights before I could get my Mahal home in September. Couldn't get refunds. Cost me over $10K all up. Woof. I was really lucky because I had two flights. No, 3. I had booked 3 flights from March to April. and I was able to get them all canceled. One was Korean Air, the other one was through Japan, and the final one was actually Philippine Airlines. Martin Agnew, what's going on, Martin? And this Martin's another one trying to get back to the Philippines. I ran into your significantly better half, Martin, last week, and I guess she's doing a lot of exercising or something. She's doing some running. I don't know what's going on. Zumba? Something like that. The Hapsters, I am glad you don't have any moderators that blocks others here. Yeah, I try not to moderate stuff. I mean, if they're just being total dicks, that's one thing, but, some light trolling, it's not a big deal. Golden Rich, car games are good. Car games are not good. I do not like Gran Turismo and do not like any of that stuff. Gyro says, I'm trying to get to the Philippines to my girlfriend as well. If you come, bring me a gyro. Those Greek sandwiches, man, I'm missing pizza. I'm missing so much. Jay McNulty asks, can you get out now around town without restrictions? Is the mall open? Yeah, they're not doing quarantine passes. We are in modified quarantine right now, so you don't have to present your pass. They're not splitting up the population into passes, can go on certain days and all that. Now, we had an incident about, was it 3 weeks ago? The APOR?
Yeah. Because Dumaguete was 0 case already.
Yes, we were at 0 cases for the longest time. We were doing really good. Dumaguete and me and my fellow Dumagueteños were very grateful. We were appreciating all the effort. Everybody's got their masks. Everybody's doing their social distancing. And then an attorney went to Manila and came back and I guess had contracted the dreaded malady. And I guess they didn't do proper screenings or something, or he didn't go into quarantine. So he went and visited some his clients in jail. He went around to some other areas. And the next thing you know, we had like 36 cases. So that shows that the R factor on this COVID monstrosity, how contagious it is and how it replicates, is pretty brutal. So now they're having to do contact tracing. There's talk of them bringing back in ECQ. So who knows what's going to happen. Again, it's a fluid situation. It changes day by day. But that's just one person. One person. How many cases? What's the latest? Have you guys kept track of it?
I don't know.
Janice, BI, how many COVID cases in Negros?
Maybe she's sleeping.
She might be asleep. Her sister-in-law, my sister-in-law might be asleep. Vella's basket case says, haha, don't like the shawarmas, Ned? No, I don't like the shawarmas. They're garbage. Basura. Some of these people are Martin and the Hapsters. They just had pizza. Good for you. I'm very glad for you. We're eating curry. We eat curry and more curry and more curry. Although,
and also carbonara.
Carbonara. And Chichai made me a tuna fish sandwich today. And she took the cucumber slices, although I don't like cucumbers, and wrote out, I love you in cucumber slices. It was very cute. I was full of kilig. My heart was flush. Martin. Mr. Macau says, any singing soon? I am waiting for my song request. Akin Kanalang. Are you going to be doing any singing soon?
That's a very high note.
Yeah, but you're an alto.
Alto is...
She's kind of busy right now.
Yeah, I don't have time.
I mean, for her, this is 24/7.
Yeah.
I try to assist here and there. Her sister's coming by every day and giving a lot of help. But this is, and if you had kids, you'll know, this is 24/7. And I mentioned this in a previous live stream. I don't know how young couples that are working can actually have kids and do this, because it would just seem impossible. Vel's basket case, is there an S&R on your island? No, there isn't. I wish there was.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's ready for some food. Keith Ream says, Chagall del Sur had no cases until September. Then the entire OB ward at the Tandag Hospital. Girl affected with COVID, and it probably got a lot worse than there. Yeah, you can go, hon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Chicha's got to go. And
I gotta go. Bye.
Somebody's hungry. You gonna wave?
She gave finger.
She's giving me the finger again. She also likes to give me the finger.
Bye-bye. See you again soon.
Bye, Amping.
How long?
Ugh, gotta do some cleaning. Gotta do some cleaning around here. Yeah, so that one person, just one person coming back with COVID and not properly quarantining. And I'll tell you what, the Pakiki-sama, the smooth interpersonal relations, Filipinos not being confrontational with each other, that went out the window, because as soon as the news got announced of what happened and how it transpired, my fellow Dumagueteños, that's my Filipino friends and neighbors, went ballistic calling this guy out and calling him every name under the sun, most of which are not repeatable on here if I want to maintain monetization. But it was the first time in 7 years in the Philippines that I've actually seen Filipinos freaking out at one particular person, publicly shaming them. I guess the guy is better now. He's recovered. He announced through his social media that he had recovered. They're upset that he's never done a public apology or anything. And as far as that goes, when you apologize, you're taking responsibility. And maybe, I'm not going to say what's going on. I mean, and probably he's an attorney, so he's probably some sort of bar type thing here. Speaking of my cat. So that's what's happening there. You want to come up for the live stream? Come on up. Come on. Yeah, Vila's basket case is S&R is like what is it, like Costco, something like that. It's like a warehouse type thing. Come on. And you can get nice meats and imported stuff there. They have the closest one is in Cebu. Come on up. But they don't have it here. Proper time in the proper place. So that's also good news. Keeping Up with the Kardashians has announced that they are going to be ending their long-running reality series. So there is cause for celebration. There is hope. And there is a reason to live for tomorrow. Because the Kardashians, the starfuckers, are going to be gone. Keith Ream says, I saw news clips that the Philippines will be opening up to tourists November 1st. What do you think? No. Domestic tourism, yes. Like you can go to Boracay if you want, but you have to pay 7,000 pesos for the swab test. You can get a really cheap accommodations there on Boracay. But I think the first day that they opened, there was 36 people, 36 tourists, and the second day it was actually less than that. Yeah, Martin Agnew, the cat's deaf, mate. I know, I keep forgetting our cats. I keep calling her. Eep, come here. Eep, eep. Vela Basket Case, new place in Cebu called Ban Mi. Great iced coffee and sandwiches. Vietnamese food is my favorite in the entire world. And unfortunately, we don't have it here. Neva's Pizza here in Dumaguete has something that they call a Ban Mi. But it's not quite the same. When I lived in Dorchester, in Boston, Massachusetts, I was fortunate enough to live in a predominantly Vietnamese neighborhood near Dorchester Avenue. So I was introduced to all Vietnamese cuisine there, and it quickly became my favorite. I love Vietnamese food. Travel Snob says November 1st for investor visas. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think it's business or something. Business visas. Dude, this is so crazy. It's changing every day. It's changing every day. Art and Dawn, Amazing Journey Philippines, and they fine you if no mask or shield. I think it's 5,000 pesos. Yeah, they've been arresting people. They've been, detaining people here in Dumaguete for not wearing their mask, which I think is great. Because unfortunately, people aren't smart enough to. It's not just protecting themselves, but it's protecting other people. And we have local transmission. This isn't just this one guy going person to person, it's now being locally transmitted. So you never know who, if you have it, if they have it, whoever has it. I guess the United States, I guess things aren't going well with COVID-19 in the United States right now. I've been following on my Flipboard a little bit. And I guess they're considering mask mandates. And today is October 29th, 2020. Philippines, the people are actually pretty good about wearing their masks and doing all that stuff. Vella's basket case says I'm on a small island, so the only time I get pizza and McDo is on my visa runs to Cebu. Martin Agnew says, last I heard it was July 21st for international tourists. How can they come up with a date like that? That sounds rather arbitrary and rather capricious. That they just pull numbers out. I don't think we're going to see a return to full normalcy until they start getting some vaccines out. And from what I'm hearing, things seem to be going pretty well with that. Again, if you've been to the Philippines, if you live in the Philippines now, we got to talk about medical capacity. We got to talk about the number of ventilators they have in the Philippines, which I think is like 2,000. Last I checked, it was like 2,000. They have 2,000 ventilators for the entire country. So if it gets out of control here, and Philippines right now is number 20th in the world. Of all the countries in the world, it's number 20th for the number of infections. I don't know exactly how many cases and how many deaths they have right now, but we are number 20. And with the densely populated urban areas that the Philippines is famous for, stuff can spread. They don't get the money for testing, medical capacity, number of beds, ventilators, all that stuff. The Hapsters says, it's ridiculous how it changes daily about who can enter or visit the Philippines. Tisk tisk. This is one of the few occasions where I can actually look at government and feel sorry for them, because I can only imagine how difficult balancing everything, especially at the higher levels. When you're tasked, like you're the president or the vice president or the head of the Department of Health or anything like that, the responsibilities that they're under in order to keep the transmission rates and the mortality rates as low as possible while balancing it against tourism is big in the Philippines. It's one of their main sources of income. I mean, number one source of income is OFWs. It's overseas foreign workers going to all countries all around the world and working hard for their families and sending the money back. Second is BPO, the business product outsourcing. That's the second. Matter of fact, BPOs might have actually brought in more money last year than OFWs. And third, I believe, is going to be close or somewhere up there, is tourism. They make a lot of money on tourism, mainly coming from Asian countries like Japan, Korea, China, and that. So yeah, I feel bad for them having to, balance all that stuff. It's hard to travel even within the province. Medical papers from the mayor. It takes a week to get all the paperwork. Yeah, you got to get barangay clearance. You got to get permission from the LGU, the local government units. Now's not a good time to be moving either. Oh, you guys are in Hawaii? Hapsters, where are you guys in Hawaii? What island? The Hapster says, here in Hawaii there are so many cases at the moment, even though our restaurants, beaches, and parks are closed to the public. Yeah. I lived in Hawaii for a little while. Well, yeah. It's nice. It's not as hot. From what I recall, it's not as hot. It's not this tropical depression that we have here, where it's so tropical that it can get depressing because it gets so freaking hot by like 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, if you're in the Philippines right now and you're not aware of it, there are more low pressure area cyclones, typhoons coming in It's raining again here right now. This is not rainy season for our area. It usually starts in June, July, August, September. So this is the last vestiges from that last low pressure area. Also, one of the videos that I did, the worst $400 USD house rental that I've seen in the Philippines. If you actually saw that video and you saw how bad that place was, now keep in mind the people that had rented they'd been there for 9 years consecutively, and they also had like 3 or 4 kids. So the place was destroyed. But the owner has done a lot of renovations to it. I actually went by and checked it out about 2 or 3 weeks ago with PLDT to see if we could get PLDT fiber optic down there. Unfortunately, at this point, it doesn't look like we can get fiber optic there, so that's not a good thing. Is this thing working? We might have lost connection. Oh, okay, you live on Oahu. I lived on the Big Island. I lived on the Puna coast of Hilo. Yeah. Martin Agnew says number of positives in Oz can be counted on 2 hands. New Zealand's doing great. Taiwan's doing great. All kinds of countries are doing great. Just takes resources. All right, so before the rain gets too loud and drowns everything out, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in. Your comments are appreciated. I hope you are well. Also, and my channel's kind of fading because I've done this for a while, and it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of effort, blood, sweat, and tears. Well, not tears, but with baby and everything, priorities with the time and all that. What I'm going to do is I have like 100 videos that I never published. Some of it's B-roll, some of it's just random shit. But I'm going to be cleaning out my closet and just basically publishing up all that, because I also want to free up. It takes up like 49 gig on my hard drive, so I want to free up some space. So I'm going to be putting that up, publishing that. I'll try to edit it in some kind of rational manner. Thank you, Rick. Thanks, appreciate that. But I'm going to be publishing that up as time goes on. I'll basically just be vomiting it onto the internets, so that maybe I can clear it off my hard drive, and at some point if I need it, I can reference it later. But some of it goes back like 4 or 5 years, but I just got to clean this up and get it done. But thanks again to everybody who tuned in. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. From behalf of Chichai, Zoe, and myself, this is Ned at My Philippine Dreams. Puppies, rainbows, unicorns, and no cyclones for all. See you next time on My Philippine Dreams.